What's up, people? How are we doing? How are we doing? I'm gonna get rolling in just a second. Give me 2 seconds, people. Roll out the usual community post. You know how it is. Be with you in just a sec. Let's hold up. Usually, I have my little stream starting soon thing, but I forgot to fucking put it up, and it's too late now. Otherwise, the illusion's gone. So, Ivan, I see you, man. Just give me 2 moments. 2 moments. 2 moments. Right, that is officially posted. So now I can just get my live tab up. How with you lovely, lovely people? Where you at? Where you at, YouTube studio? Come on, play nice with me today. Play nice with me today. Okay, I think it's playing nice. It's loading. It better fucking play nice. I swear. There you go. What's up, guys? Yeah, English Jack Jenkins apparently. Well, maybe if that now I'm pretty confident now that fight's been announced. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him. Did he get injured in his last fight actually? Or am I wrong? So maybe he won't be. So I don't know. JDM will pocketbox Leon to a decision. Nah, man. I think the only way JDM wins is if he finishes him. To be honest with you, and that's a big ask. JDM has got it's a really tough matchup for both guys. I think especially more so for Leon, just because I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. I think back to the Randy Brown fight as probably the biggest sort of example or thing we can draw from to see how this fight might go if it goes in JDM's favor. And obviously, Randy Brown isn't as credentialed as Leon. No, and obviously, that's, you don't need to be a genius to know that. But stylistically, with that long rangey striker versus the pocket boxer like JDM is, I don't know, you can find the chin. Leon's been caught before. We'll see. I don't know. It's a really tough one to call. But I'm not 100% on my prediction yet. I have, and again, this is such early news to everybody, really. Very, very new, fresh news as of this morning. At least when I woke up was the first time I saw it. So I don't know. We'll get stuck into it and then some. But what's up, Pom? How you doing, brother? That's not the name on my birth certificate, actually, in terms of my first name. Not my official first name is just Leo. It doesn't. We ain't changed it. JVD, what's up, brother? I see you. I see you. Donnie, how you doing, man? It has been a while. Good to see you back in here. How you doing? Good to see all of you guys. If you're outside my video, I have not watched Sidemen in a while. Back in the day, maybe. KSI about... Man, I haven't watched KSI for so long. Well, obviously not really as much anymore, but... Mate, back when he was doing FIFA Funnies on FIFA 12, mate. That was the funniest shit to me ever back in the day. FIFA Funnies, Q&A Sunday, back on FIFA 12, 13. It was peak. It was peak. Thing is, you could not do some of the stuff he was doing back then now. Yeah, but I mean, they're killing it. Fair play to them. I got nothing against the Cybermen, what they do. Would you fight Misfits if invited or called out? Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? It'd be fun. I need something in my life which gives me purpose more than just YouTube. So, why not? Yeah, I'd do it. That was a joke, by the way. I do have purpose, but YouTube does a lot of work. Then again, so would boxing. I don't know. I don't. It sounds good in theory, but I probably wouldn't get paid very much. And this is hypothetically because obviously I don't think I have the clout to get in there. But yeah, it'd be a lot of work. But yeah, I'd like to try it. I've always wanted to get my hand at boxing, see how it goes. But I don't know. College been absolutely bonkers. Is that college or American college, or because it's different, isn't it? Like UK college is the equivalent of 16 to 18. In the US, it's older, right? So I don't know, but either way, I don't envy you. University was a long time for me. So, at least work wise. Start beef and get MMA shades, call you out, go for it, brother. If as long as it's all in good faith. Pavlovich, Rosenstrike, Pavlovich, I reckon. I think he'll just melt Rosenstrike in the same way he melted Curtis Blades back in the day. I know Pavlovich has been on a bit of a bad run, but it's heavyweight. You can turn things around just like that if you're really good enough. And Pavlovich, we've seen his finishing pedigree. I think we can safely say it won't take much for him to finish anybody. And Rosenstrike, I think he can. I mean, it'll go either way, mate. It's heavyweight. In US college, 18 to 24. 18 to 24, you ain't going to college for 6 years, bro. Well, I mean, unless you're doing like medicine or something. And that's even longer. What's up, brother? How you doing? Been a while. You always had the weirdest last name. But I always like the energy you bring, man. How you doing? Good to see you again. Peeping Tom MMA. Possibly the worst name I've ever seen. Actually, someone's come in here with worse, and I wish I remembered what it was. But that's not far behind, has to be said. But I hope you guys are doing well. I've I've been very torn on what video to work on for next week. I haven't decided it yet, but I think I was gonna do the Dricus video, but I think I'm gonna hold that off another week, as I said last week, because obviously 311 would come out on the same day, give or take, and that wouldn't line up nicely. So I'll probably release it the week after. That's probably the plan I'm going for. And we'll see. Maybe yeah, again, the napkin video is a shout. I know that's for those who are not clued into the context, that might sound crazy, but it will make sense if I made it. I promise you that. Okay, that is crazier. Fair enough. I did see the Khabib video. It didn't seem like that big of a deal. I don't know why they kicked him out. Strange. Do an Umar video. If he wins, I will. Probably. Catch your thought on a lot of things. It's all good, man. What was your thoughts on 310? Bro, honestly, it all goes in a blur for me. I don't even know anymore. That was Shavkat and Ian Gary and Pantoja Asakura, right? Yeah. I was away when that was happening, so I ended up missing the last 3 fights. I know, crazy. Because I was actually doing a Muay Thai session in the middle of the day at the time, so I ended up missing them. Had to watch them back. But I enjoyed it. I thought Gary proved my point that he'd be able to hold up very well with Shavkat. I actually picked him to win that fight. I thought he would beat Shavkat, and to his credit, it was very close when I think a lot of people didn't think it was going to be. And my point stands about Shavkat not having very good defense. He does get clipped, and his head movement is horrendous, and he relies on his chin too much. But credit to him, he hung in there, did well, and he deserved to win. It was a close fight, but I think Shavkat won it. Pantoja looked very good, man. I mean, we already knew his grappling was a cut above Asakura's, even with the limited knowledge of a guy like him. You know, obviously my focus is on the UFC, so I had to do my tape study, but at his age, I didn't expect to look as good as he did. And wow, he looked very fucking good. Credit to him. And of course, Garn got egregiously robbed against Volkov after I watched that one back. But it was a good card. It was decent. Dohu Choi looked incredible. I watched that fight live. He looked incredible. Really, really impressed me. Seriously impressed me. You know, he's been in the UFC for a long time now. And I think people, you know, the way he fought, he fought like he looked like a champion in there. Honestly, he looked very, very good on the feet. So excited that he's made some improvements and very excited to see where he goes. I don't know. After he watches Marab, if you're talking about Umar, we'll see, man. We'll see. Oh, also, the in-person podcast episode should be out later today. I don't know if it's out now. It's got to post it. We'll see. But we had an in-studio episode of the pod, and we actually broke down 311 a bit near the end, but mostly just talked about some creative stuff, and it was a good time. So check that out when it comes out. When did this fight get announced? Not seen it anywhere else yet. I think a couple of people, relatively reputable people, have reported it. If you look at, you'll find it. I can't remember who the sources are. But I think a more reputable source actually retweeted it, which is why I'm talking about it now. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have done. Strickland and his brother screaming at a rock climbing instructor. Yeah, that was ages ago. That video came out like last year, no? I saw Strickland screaming at the guy, and the guy just stood there and mogged him, to be fair. But that was a long time ago, that video. I think people are just reposting it. Doing the rounds again. I remember that. 310 had Shavkat above Belal. There you go. It changed. That's what I'm saying. I said Belal. I think Belal is a nice matchup for beating Shavkat, I think. The grappling is the difference maker for me. Shavkat's got good grappling, but Belal is just it's a weird one with him, isn't it? I'm just curious to see them side by side. I want to see the size difference in terms of height and just general mass. That's what I'm curious about. Pantoja will be pound for pound. No, he won't. He's a flyweight. I'm sorry. Unless you're Mike Mouse Johnson and you're that undeniable as a flyweight, you're just not going to get to that. He's close. If the rankings do him nicely, he should be, but I just don't think he'll get it because the UFC are the UFC. As long as Pereira or Tapori are about, they're way bigger names. They'll jump the gun. They'll jump the queue a little bit. They just will. That's how it is. No chance 311 disappoints. That's how it disappoints, bro. If you think it won't disappoint, it will. Keep your expectations steady. Not low, but keep them steady. As I say, it happens all the time. It's always the cards where no one cares about were actually pretty damn good. I ended up tuning into the one last night, and there was some really crazy finishes on there. Did anyone see that finish on the main card? I caught the 2 big slugger guys. And they were just trading. This guy got put out fucking cold. This Ghanaian dude. Al something. Man. Brutal finish. I ended up skipping the main event because I was too tired. And I didn't want to fuck my sleeping pattern up too much. But I rewatched that back afterwards. And Dern looked really good in there. So credit to her. Striking a little bit better. Still not great. Probably not enough. But she looks better than she did recently. You know, she's now on a 2-fight winning streak, I think. And the rest of the fights were great on that card. Kopylov with that last second finish against Curtis, which was debatable, but both guys look pretty good. I enjoyed it. Blau and DDP I have goofy styles. Dricus is more so. That's what I'm really going to hone in on with the Dricus documentary. I'm going to lean into that. The no surgery is a sort of chapter. I'm thinking about sort of story beats I really want to hit. Those are two of them. How he's crafted that style, the sort of redemption arc after he had the nose surgery, turning the fans from people who take the piss out of him, you know, myself included, of course, and I'm sure many of you, and then turning it into a story about, you know, garnering a really positive fan base and obviously succeeding when no one thought he ever really would. So that's kind of the play with him. I think because his backstory outside of the UFC isn't anything like crazy, you know, I'm probably going to just get stuck into his UFC career. So I don't know how long it's going to be. But we're really just going to try and do a career documentary within the UFC. Maybe I'll do his regional circuit stuff if it feels right. I'll do it. Again, I haven't even written it yet, so we'll see with that. And then yeah, I don't know, but that will probably be the week after this video. So the napkin one is probably what I'm going to work on. Shavkat matched up better than Leon did. What, against Belal? I don't know. Leon, I don't think he's even a bad matchup for Belal. Personally, I think Leon definitely can beat Belal. We saw that. If he really took the fight to Belal, he could have won that. I stand by that. We saw that in the last round. He was a couple of elbows away from finishing the fight. And that opportunity was there the entire time. He just didn't take it. And he had a whole round where he took his bag. And for me, it's frustrating because I think Leon is the better athlete. He is more well-rounded and has the skills to definitely beat Belal. But he didn't show up. He didn't do enough that night. And that's his fault. Belal took advantage of that entirely. And Belal was on his A game. Leon definitely was not. And if you aren't on your A game as a champion, you deserve to lose. And Leon deserved to lose that night. So it's frustrating one with him. Shavkat, I think, is a little bit more stylistically obvious. With Belal, I think the takedowns are there for Belal to get the victory. It's a tricky one. Shavkat's more dangerous everywhere. I guess in terms of finishing pedigree, sure. There's no doubt there. But in terms of golfing skill, I think the grappling is a lot better for Belal against Shavkat than it was against Leon personally. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I like Belal. He can be a bit annoying. I was pissed when he beat Leon and made me lose a shit ton of money, or rather miss out on a shit ton of money. But you know, can't fault the guy. You know, he proved everyone wrong, did he not? So he was a sizable underdog in that fight. I think people forget. Belal Blitz reminds me of the Dricus Blitz. I mean, Khabib is another comparison you can draw there. Both guys which are just really crafty with their entries, with striking wise, because they set up takedowns, or at the very minimum, they get the other person guessing. They get the opponent guessing on whether there's a shot coming, whether that's a takedown shot or a shot to the face. So they're good in that regard, and obviously they build their styles around that. So it might look shit and it might look sloppy and poor, but it's effective. And in MMA, that's really the most important thing. Is the techniques you're using effective? Then yes, it doesn't matter how you win. It's getting over the finish line, is it not? It's getting your hand raised. So because when the record books are all said and done, you got a green W by your name. Doesn't matter how you get it done. It's there. It's a win in the win column. So listen, I can't fault the guy. It might be boring to watch, but it's fucking effective. Can't fault the guy. Can't fault the man at all. Leon versus Shavkat needs a look. That would be an interesting fight. I mean, I'd always be curious about that one. For a long time, I expected that fight to take place because I was under the assumption that Leon would get past Belal. Again, proven wrong there. But who knows? MMA is a weird one. We could see it in the future. I'm excited. Donnie, no. I'd say no. In fact, I mean, I'd say no. It is no. But, you know, that's fine, man. It's not the numbers game. That's all I'll say. Ups and downs. That's how it is, though. It's never, for most people, it ain't simple. So, who's your favorite fighter? Tom Aspinall, Aaron. Easy answer, my man. It's always been Tom Aspinall ever since he made his debut. Just instant attachment to a guy who just looked levels above everyone else every time he stepped in the octagon. So, it has to be him. Then, probably after that, I mean, I've always been a big Poirier fan. He's up there. Let me get the rankings up right now. Bisping, obviously another, but he's not a current one. I'm assuming you're talking about current fighters right now. Ilya Topuria as well. A huge fan of his. The guy's just a dog. And I like him because he's confident, but he isn't... He's confident and he's brash, but he backs up everything he says. And everything he says is clearly just to sell the fight. He never steps over the line. That's the difference between him and guys like Colby Covington. He is respectful of his opponent, and he's well aware of their skills. He just backs himself to the utmost degree, and I have no problem with that at all. And hell, if he keeps fighting like the way he fights, you know, I don't know how anyone can dislike him. The guy is just too good. Chris Curtis KO controversy. I don't think it should have been stopped, but you know, and I'm more pissed off at the people getting mad at Chris Curtis. To be honest with you, I mean, this you got to understand. This is money and livelihood at stake here. This is half your paycheck. You know, potentially. Obviously, he probably would have lost the third round, but that's besides the point. You don't know that in the moment. You know, as a fighter, you're feeling something completely different, and also you want to finish. You don't want to go out like that, dude. No one wants to go out with 1 second left. And you know, the ref shouldn't have waved it off, in my opinion. But there you go. I just don't like people getting mad at Chris. It's like, you're not a fighter. You're not stepping in there. You do not know the pain of dealing with something like that. And the guy was obviously concussed. He took a flush head kick. Credit to him for even staying on his feet and not being out cold. It was, well, not staying on his feet, but not being put with his lights out. I mean, Jesus, it was a good shot. No one's getting, yeah, listen, it's not. I've just been playing the game and I don't know, it's boring. The world of dating is tough. It's just long. It's long. That's the phrase I'll use. It's long, cumbersome, tiresome. Sometimes, you know, it can be good, it can be bad, but yeah, it's all right. Thoughts on any of oh, I already read that. Hey, sir. Sorry, you must have jumped in. Yeah. I just gave my thoughts. If you just wind back the stream, about 20 seconds, there you go. He did lose it 10-8. Well, he didn't lose it 10-8 because the judges didn't score it because it was a finish. So the judges didn't score the final round. So they didn't actually score the card. So we don't actually know. We can probably safely assume Kopolov would have won with a 10-9. I mean, he didn't it wasn't on the brink of being finished until right at the end. And it was competitive up until that point. You know, Kopolov was landing the better shots. I think he definitely won that round. So, like, I'm not mad in saying that Kopolov would have won the fight anyway. I think he, you know, probably would have done. I think it would have been a robbery if he didn't. But it's not really about that. It's not about that at all. It's a TKO loss on your record, which you shouldn't have. Which means a lot more than a decision loss. It does. And you don't know until you know. There's no certainty there. You might have been close. We've seen crazier judges score crazier cards. Curtis could have got the nod. As outrageous as that might seem, it could have happened. Wouldn't have surprised me. We know how crazy they are. So I understand his frustration. And anyone who's getting on Curtis's back, I really don't get it. It's strange behavior. This is their livelihood. This is their everything. This is how they make a living, guys. So there's no reason to be mad at them for not wanting to go out with the bell rather than with the ref waving you off. I don't understand it. I don't care if he would have lost anyway. He now has a KO loss. Exactly. That means a lot, guys. It does. Clear 10-8, maybe to you. That's fine, but we don't know what the judges were going to score it. So that's the fact at the end of the day. There was a blank slate on that third round on the scorecards. So, most anticipated fight for this week. There's a banger on 311. I can't remember which is a bit ironic that I can't remember who it is, but I mean, Prajka Hill will be fun. I think that's got potential. Moicano Dariush. To be honest with you, the main and co-main, I actually think especially the co-main is going to be a bore fest. I'll tell you what I think we're going to get with the co-main event. I think we're going to get a lot of standing off from each other. A lot of in and out feints. Not a lot of air feints. Air feints? What does that even mean? A lot of basically just jabbing in and out, nothing really happening. I think we're going to get a lot of that in the co-main event, and it's going to be pretty dull. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Makhachev Sarukin, I think, will be a nice fight. But the one I'm really excited in is actually on the prelims. I mean, Peyton Talbot's going to get a nice finish. I don't know. Wait, no, was it on? Maybe I'm getting mixed up with the fight night. There was a banger fight on the card. Tertiary Sopaj could be quite fun. I'm looking forward to that one. But Praj Cahill is probably the safe bet. When's Jury ever in a boring fight? I mean, there's your answer, right? Holland Ritter will be cool. Dariush Moicano or Praj Cahill, I think that would be my two to look out for. But I don't need to tell you guys that. You all know that. They're all great matchmaking. So that's my argument. You said robbery if judges gave it to Chris. Yeah, sure, but it's besides the. Yeah, but he was denied that opportunity to even have a chance unjustly. I think that's the point. And again, I'm less so mad about the result. Yeah, sure, he shouldn't. The ref shouldn't have stepped in. Sure, if you want to make that argument, it's more the people I'm annoyed at the people getting on his back about it. Because as I said, Chris's reaction was more than justified in that situation, if you ask me. So again. We can go in circles on this. Is anything what's been announced for 312? Jesus, that water bottle leaves a horrendous amount of water on my mustache. UFC 312, what we got? Dricus Zhang Suarez is a decent little fight, I have to say. Anshul Jabuli's coming back, which is interesting. Dricus Strickland 2. I mean, sure. It was a great fight last time, but I'm not arsed, man. I want Shemaev in the equation, and I have no doubt he'll fight the winner. But we'll see. First ever hate watch will be for Hill. The thing he pulled with Alex with the gloves was so corny. I listen, with Hill, I can't really hate the guy. Yeah, he's frustrating. The fact is he doesn't help himself. I don't think he really acknowledges. He seems to get frustrated with the amount of backlash and fan hate he gets. He gets very defensive over it. But in my opinion, he's only got himself to blame for that exact reason. Like I don't really understand. He never says anything that helps his case. He just doesn't. Everything he does doesn't help his case. I just he only has himself to blame. He really does. So I got no sympathy for him. I don't dislike him. I actually think he's still quite underrated. I think he got a bad rap after the Pereira fight. Again, I know, as I said, he didn't help himself, but he is still a good fighter, and I think people forget that. And we haven't seen him, unless I'm mistaken, in the cage since UFC 300. And he was coming in on that fight on short notice with, not fully recovered from that pretty significant injury. So I feel there is some credit to be given there. We'll see what happens. Again, he had 2 cancel fights, didn't he? He was meant to fight Roundtree and Olberg, but both those guys pulled out for various reasons at the time. But yeah, it'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight with Prashka. Okay, obviously, I'd rather Jiri to win. He's a fan favorite. He's one of my favorites. One half of one of my favorite fights ever against Glover Teixeira. So happy to see him back in the cage and hopefully getting back in the win column. What's up, Ali? How you doing, brother? Good to see you again. Ref decided he was unable to intelligently defend himself. Kopolov should have smashed him. Yeah, I agree with that. Kopolov should have done that. He said he walked away because he thought the fight was done and he didn't want to, add any extra punishment because of Curtis's family. I think he just had a kid or something, which is a fair argument. I'm indifferent to it, to be honest with you. Listen, what happened? What happened? It's just the response, as I said, that I'm frustrated about. Yeah, Ali, I watched some of it. I came back from my night out and I watched like some of the back end of the prelims, and then most of the main card up until the main event where I was too tired and I just. But there was some banger finishes on there. It was good. Oh, I'm sorry. And I went back and watched the prelim ones too. Some good ones in there. It was a good time. Again, those fight nights, sometimes they deliver, guys. I think people forget it. People forget it. Julio, my man. I see you. You did make it in time. Don't worry, I've only been on for 20 minutes. You're here, brother. It's good to see you again. How you doing? You have absolutely made it. Congrats. I say congrats, bro. Yeah, thank you is what I should be saying. Jesus Christ. Wrong word to use. I hope you're doing well. I hope all of you are doing pretty well today. I had to chop up the podcast today, the in-person episode, which took me fucking ages, but we got it done. It should be. Is it out now? Let me check. I don't know when Will's going to post it. No, he hasn't gone live yet, so I'm assuming he's just got on the back end of doing the thumbnails and that. But when that'll be live, I will roll out a community post. But it was cool. Again, doing the in-person episodes are always really fun, and it's a bit more raw. Of course it is. Everyone would rather an in-person episode of a podcast. So we got to use the studio again. It was great. So good time. Has the fight ever legitimately put you to sleep, Merab O'Malley? That was boring, but I'm sorry. If you're not, the easiest answer there is Namajunas versus fucking Carla Esparza versus Rose 2. Without a doubt, the worst fight I've ever watched in my entire life. That or Strickland Costa. I take it back. Strickland Costa might actually be worse. It might actually be worse. I'm not sure. They're both awful. Terrible. My hair is looking extra brown. Is it? The lighting was being really weird for me today. Am I supposed to say thank you to that? My eyes are looking red as shit, though. Fucking hell. Why are they so, inflamed? Oh, I'm saying it. What the hell? Look at my eyelids, boys. What's going on there? I don't know. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Garney Lewis. Yeah, that's up there too. But that was only 3 rounds, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That was only 3 rounds. Striking match between Rebelis, Despaigne, and Jake Paul goes. Jake Paul would probably finish him. I don't think if it's in boxing. Yeah. Despaigne just has a crazy wingspan. He looks like a Reign of Kings or Ark Survival Evolved character. And he has power. He has no good technique, really. With his hands, anyway. He just swings, bro. But he does look like an Ark Survival Evolved character. That's a good question. It looks like it, doesn't it? It does. Remember I was at Disney in Florida watching Strickland versus Costa with the fam? My aunt was fast asleep. That's the worst. When you try and get your family or friends who aren't into MMA, you try and go, let's watch this fight, expecting it to be a banger, and it's a bore fest. You're sitting there like, I'm so ashamed of my sport. I have the opposite example of that. I got my dad to watch, I think I mentioned this ages ago. I got my dad to watch the first fight of UFC 300 with me, which was Jim Miller versus Bobby Green. And Jim Miller got probably the bloodiest face I've ever seen in my... How many years have I watched MMA now? 6 years. No, 7, nearly 6. I guess nearly 7 years of watching MMA. And that was one of the bloodiest faces I've ever seen. And my dad was like, "This is barbaric. It's awful." I was, I was just like, "This is great." He didn't really get with it, but each to his own. Yeah, Smoking the Giggle Bush would do it. That's a good name for it. It's a good name for it. Felt like 5. I mean, yeah, in the 5 rounds, 5 rounders that are boring feel like 20. So I'll keep boxing. Oh, I don't know then. I don't know. What's up, lad? Good to see you again, my man. How are you? How are you doing? You look, you motherfuckers, all of you usual suspects, huh? I appreciate you sticking around, truly. But yeah, we can get stuck into some chat about anything else if you want to, but game stuff, I'm always down for that. If you saw my Max Payne 3 video, I put that out. I know it's a little shorter than the other ones, but I kind of ran out of things to say. I thought I would be talking for more on that one. But I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed talking about Max Payne because it is fucking underrated. Max Payne 3 is so slept on. It's like 13 years old now, I think, and it's still not enough people talk about it, nor have they played it, and it's one of the best shooters ever made. So I talked all about that on my games channel. Go check it out if you haven't. Enjoyed making it. How come I never stream for longer? I don't know, you know. Maybe I would. If I was doing something else, if I was doing like a thing, if I was playing a game, I could definitely stream for longer. But again, that's not what this channel's for. So I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I guess because it's just at a time for me where it's convenient. Like I have to do this. Today I wasn't. Usually I record the pod today, but because we did it midweek in person, I just spent the day editing it. Normally I record the pod, then I do my game channel vid right after. Then I only have about an hour, if that, in between where I have to. Then I have a, in between. Then I have to go and stream. So I'm pretty tired by that point. So usually I don't stream longer. At least that's on the Sundays, to be fair. And Thursdays, I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I got my sister to watch a fight on the Saudi Arabia card, and those 2 dudes from Road to UFC had the most bloody first round I've ever seen. I think I know which one you were talking about. That was that on the fight night? Was it on a Saudi fight night or am I crazy? They say my sister will never watch a fight. Listen, it's not for everyone. I mean, I disagree with that. I think it is for everybody. I think fighting is for everybody. I think everybody enjoys fighting. There's a reason any time there was a fight at school, you'd be crowding around trying to see what was happening because we have an innate curiosity with fists, with fist fighting and just general fighting in general. And again, that goes back to the fucking Colosseum, man. Days of gladiators. You know, there's a reason fighting is still prevalent now. It's because we have an innate attraction to it. So I think it is for everybody. They just don't know it. How do you think Prime Dillashaw versus Sean O'Malley will go? I think Sean will clip him, man, just because of the range. It's such a difficult puzzle. If you're going striker versus striker, having that reach advantage at bantamweight is just, it's paramount, man. It's so important. So I'd pick Sean, and I like Dillashaw as a fighter, at least in his prime. And I think Marab would have been a tough one for him too. I don't know. Jan versus Dillashaw, I think, would be really good. I think Dillashaw might win that. Games, what's up? I like that name. Good question. Did you know how much a jailbroken PS3 can do? I don't know. Please fill me in, actually. I was looking at jailbroken PS Vitas because someone was telling me about that because I actually... Hey, what? Hang on. Here we go. I got it. I had this bad boy for years, man. I would jailbreak it, but the touchpad is kind of fucked up. Doesn't really work anymore. But it's actually the second one I had because I ended up trading in my old one ages ago and then getting it back. Not the same one, but getting one back because I missed it and I realized how good it was. But fill me in, man, please. 36 dropped the decision to Neil and KO'd by Luke. Shavkat has his toughest test, but I'm confident. And I'm the DDP is becoming champion guy. Trust. That's it. Okay, fair enough. Listen, MMA is a fucking mental sport, so I will never rule anything out of equation unless you tell me Tony Ferguson's going to win a title again, because that will not happen. But just about anything else, I'm with you. Listen, it could happen. We will see. But listen, Belal's improved exponentially, so I think Belal will get it done. I think he'll get the decision again. He will win by decision because he's Belal. But I think he gets it done. I think he takes down Shavkat. I think he just works him over time. Thoughts on Marab versus Umar and bullshit odds? Yeah, the odds are crazy. I didn't think Marab would be that big of an underdog. I might put a little bit of money on it because I fancy Marab by decision. I really do. It'll be a boring ass fight, but I think he can get it done. Man, I'm curious to actually charge this Vita up, you know? I kind of want to try it out. See if the touchscreen has just decided to revive itself. I seriously doubt it, but maybe I'll pick one up, you know? I do miss playing this. Saying that, I really want to get a Steam Deck, so I might pick one. I might buy one of those. I might spend some money on a Steam Deck. That would be pretty cool. Not that I really need it, but sometimes you buy stuff you don't need. His physique is transformed. That honestly, I do agree with that. I was a little bit suspicious of that in the build up to 304. Again, I'm not using it as a cop out because I said this before the fight anyway. I thought he looked a lot better. Maybe that's the result of hard work or he is juicing. Who knows? Reddit is funny. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's all right. I used to be on it I used to be active on r/MMA quite a lot, but not anymore. I just used to lurk. I never really commented or posted, but. Standard play every old console game on a jailbreaker PS3. It's a lot of steps though. Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit harder. I think the Vita is really easy to jailbreak apparently. What the hell is this? But bro, it's the PS Vita, my guy. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Look at this. You don't know what a PS Vita is, let alone a PSP, bro. I mean, you probably. I don't know how old are you, bro? I mean, that sounds weird, but you probably weren't even. How old were you when the fucking PSP came out? I don't even know. PSP. When did PSP come out? A long time ago, but. I didn't have a PSP, but I had the equivalent. I was a DS guy. PSP came out in 2004, to be fair. So I was 2 years old. So there you go. In Europe, actually in Europe it came out in 2005, so I would have been 3. But hey. I had a DS. I was a DS Lite kind of guy. I remember when they bought the one that came out with the camera, and it blew my fucking mind. Make a video visiting old games on the Vita. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next. I was actually meant to record one today, and I completely forgot. So I might have to do that after this. Just got to decide what I want to talk about. I was trying to think of what's prevalent and what I also like a series that's coming out with a game, or maybe that's like right now that's relevant. But also I can go back and talk about the series as a whole in the same way I did it with Witcher. So who knows? Looks like it's been throughout. That's because it has. I mean, it's been sitting in my drawer for fucking years now. I have not touched it outside the occasional blue moon to turn it on and see if it works. But I did used to play it a lot back in the day. Love playing on my PS Vita, man. It was great. Just Sony fucked it up and didn't support it properly. So it's a shame. But that's how it is sometimes. Hard work and dedication, that was a phrase used by juicers as admission. Possibly. Listen, we'll see if, you know, if he is juicing, I'm sure we'll find out eventually, right? I did see the Discord post, the Mackenzie Discord post. You lot are decrepit. Did I see Marab's injury? No, I didn't. You better not be baiting me, my man. Didn't he have staff in his last fight and they just, or like there was some bullshit about that? What am I missing? I mean, listen, I don't think there's much cause for concern. Sure, the fight could get cancelled, but it's more of a case of fighters coming. No one comes into 100% to a fight anyway. That's the reality of it. So I'm not fussed. Every fighter deals with problems going into a camp. So and coming out of one. So no, I got nothing good or bad to say about it. What's up, Wolf? How you doing, brother? Good to see you again, my man. My man. There we go. Before I leave, shout out to Alex. Is that bait name? I'm scared. Fine, I'm gonna say Alexa Pearl. I don't know who that is. I shouldn't have said that shit, man. I'm gonna look this up, and I'm gonna it's probably. I feel like I know what this is. Is this? There's a link. There's a link tree in the Instagram bio. So I know where that's going. I know what kind of man you are, bro. There's a link tree in the Instagram bio. I am not going further than that. Walker got any injuries? Scared of Anthony Smith? I'm sure. USADA got out on purpose. I mean, brother, USADA don't even work for. USADA aren't even in cooperation with the UFC anymore. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's a completely different company now. Listen, okay, all right. Well, I think it's jiu-jitsu an Olympic sports because the Olympic Committee are behind. I don't know. It's done on a vote system, isn't it? If breakdancing gets in, I don't know how jiu-jitsu isn't. I actually think it's because of the IBJJF rule set. I'm not entirely sure. I remember reading something about that, but I don't know. I should be, and I hope, fingers crossed, that it will be. And I'm sure it will in time. But they just removed judo or something like that. Maybe it wasn't judo. They removed one of the significant martial arts competitions from the Olympic selection, which is really disappointing. So hopefully we'll get jiu-jitsu back in, but I'm not going to be excited. No, I saw the injury photo, man. I saw the injury photo. Are you talking about the stitch up on his leg? I looked it up. But I appreciate you anyway. And I am not reacting to Indian mud wrestling. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Oh, actually, I haven't told you guys yet. I don't think I've actually mentioned it. So I know this is probably the worst timing since I was only away like a month ago. But near the end of the month, I'm going away for like 5 days to Iceland. So there won't be a video that week. I actually didn't even think about that. Does that mean I can still do the Dricus video? Shit, I did not plan this. I'm going to Iceland for like 5 days with some of my boys, and then I'll be back after that. So I will get we'll still do a pod episode while I'm out there. I don't miss on that. But shit, what can I do? I think I'm fine, right? Yeah, that's cool. I leave on the 26th. So Dora, you'll still get the Dricus documentary. You'll still be good. So don't you worry about that. Stitch him on the leg doesn't look anything significant. Well, it looks tough, but we'll see. Hopefully not. God, he didn't post anything for the whole December. Yeah, I was in Thailand and then it was Christmas, so I just prolonged the break. It was kind of listen. The Iceland stuff was quite impromptu, so like it was not really part of my plan. But it's happening, so I've already paid for it. So and it's fucking expensive. So that would be nice. I've always wanted to go, so I'm doing that just for 5 days, and then we'll be back to normal. So traveling a lot recently, yeah, it's not the norm. Buddy with his camera, no, bro. I'm not his cameraman, bro. I'm not his cameraman, brother. But no, again, mostly I know this isn't the norm, so don't worry. We'll be back to not regularly scheduled programming. We are now, and for the most of the rest of the year. Postcard, bring me a sticker rock. I got you, man. I'll post some pics while I'm out there. I'll put them on my Instagram. How much do you believe McGregor Paul happening in Mumbai? More than I did last week. I'll say that. But then again, McGregor's never been a man of his word, so I don't believe him. I don't believe a word that man says anymore, and I haven't for years. Looks bad if you're in the know how you can tell that fight should get cancelled because of that. It would hinder his performance, but not by much. I don't. Again, I'm not a medical expert, man. Shouldn't, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Donnie. Sorry, I missed yours. Stream schedule. I won't be streaming when I'm out there, but I will still do the podcast. And I'll probably have a Game Channel video pre-scheduled for that. So at least you'll get that, and then again we'll be back to normal. It's only 5 days, so big family ties to Iceland. Oh, really? Nice. I'm so excited to go. It's been on my bucket list for a long time of places to travel that I haven't been. It's been like the last 1 or 2 places left on my list that I've always really wanted to go and travel to. So that'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Amani's like the richest family in the world. They got the capacity to pay. Oh, they're in India to pay 250 mil. That's ridiculous. I don't believe it will ever be that much. No fight's ever been paid close to that in my to my knowledge. So I'm actually curious. What is the biggest fight purse ever? I'm very curious about that. Got to be Mayweather, right? Yeah. Mayweather's guaranteed pay was 100 million. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, well this report's saying 280. Fuck knows. Honestly, I don't think anyone really knows. It's not fully disclosed, is it? Who knows, man? Show us the sights you'll be seeing in Iceland. I'm going to see the Black Sand Beach, which is cool. Always wanted to do that. Glacier walking, Northern Lights, all the main shit. We're trying to get everything done within 5 days. So, and it is fucking freezing out there right now. What's the temperatures out there right now? It is actually okay today, but I think I saw earlier a couple of weeks ago it was like peaking at like a -12. I'm not even joking. So that's fucking nuts. But we'll see. We'll see. Looking forward to it. Got to be fought. Yeah, of course. Guy's got money for his name's Money for a reason, whether it's deserved or not. Fair play to him because he's boring as shit to watch in terms of bloodthirsty perspective. But could people got kicked out of playing? Yeah, I saw. Don't worry, I saw the video. Why was he traveling economy? Probably because it was a small flight, and who gives a fuck? He can do what he wants, man. He's a humble guy. Think about how weird giving Umar huge odds to beat Merab, then favoring Belal strongly over Shavkat. I don't know. I just expected the odds for Belal, Umar and Merab to be that close. I just didn't think Umar would be that significant of a favorite, just because Merab is clearly very good. But you know, maybe they will be right. Maybe Umar will make it look easy. Did I rewatch last night's card? I watched most of it anyway, so I didn't really need to. I enjoyed it. The Vieira, what was his name? The big fucking knockout on last night versus the Ghanaian guy. He put him out cold. That was nuts. Who was it? Cesar Almeida versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That shit was insane. Craziest fucking knockout I've seen in a while. He was out cold for a good like 5-10 minutes. Genuinely rough finish. I made it. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't remember him fighting, to be honest with you. Who did he fight in his last fight? Because I do not recognize him. He beat Poteria and then he lost to Kopilov. Fairs. No shame in that. Yeah, it was a nuts finish, man. Nuts finish. Igor Poteria's he lost last night, didn't he, as well? He was on that card. Yeah, he's a bit of a fraud, right? Was he fighting? He was. I think I missed that one. I think I caught the fight after that. And then I was sort of in and out of watching it. I was playing Helldivers 2 at the same time. Because I was like, I wasn't that arsed. I was like, and then I saw these two guys swinging. And I was like, okay, I got to watch now. But I was playing Helldivers 2. I've been playing a lot of that recently, actually. Good game. Since they updated it again, I was like, I got back into it. I'm just enjoying my time with it. It's a nice chill game to just enjoy, have fun. I need that sometimes, you know. And also, too much Gwent. I've been playing far too much Gwent. But I got my brother into The Witcher 3. I finally convinced him to play it. So I consider that one of my greatest achievements. Watching him play through that game makes me happy. I'm sort of living vicariously through his experience. Alaska Airlines Insta comments filled with Khabib gifts. Now, never underestimate the Russian fan base. Ever. Or just Eastern Europeans. Actually, I'll give the one up. Yeah, Kazakhstan. Anything to do with... If Shavkat breathes air, wherever that air has been breathed, you will find millions of Shavkat and then... I can't speak voice. Emojis of Kazakhstan flags. Or in Instagram comment sections. Absolutely everywhere. They are relentless. You got to credit it. Give them credit. There's no way Umar can make it easy. I don't think so either. I think it's a tough fight. I think he'll break Umar as well, but it'll be a boring fight. Break is maybe a strong word. It'll be a competitive fight. Aljo's his main training partner. No respect from Rob. What's wrong with Aljo? Did I play Kingdom Come? Brother, I responded to both your comments on the games channel. I responded to you on there. To be fair, I understand YouTube might not have notified you because it's weird like that. But if you go on the video, I replied to you on both of the videos because I know you commented on both. I give you my thoughts are on there, but I'll give them to you here anyway. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I appreciate what it did, being such a left field with such left field design philosophy as a game. And I think they actually did a pretty good job, especially with a smaller budget and a smaller studio. They took quite a big risk and paid off. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I liked it, and I'm glad it's getting a sequel. And I hope it will be. I hope it'll be exciting. I hope it'll be good. I won't pick it up at launch, but if it goes on a sale, I'll probably get it for cheap. But credit to him, yeah. I'm all for devs like that, trying something different. It takes balls to do something like that, seriously. And I enjoyed it. I think I got right near the end of the story, but I just never got around to finishing it. I was very close to the end. I was how far through? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong actually. How far through the bit is where you become like a monk and shit? Something like that. I would think I was quite a bit past that. I can't really remember. Shit was about to kick off. There was about to be a big fight. And I know I'm aware that's near the end of the game. But I was like highly I'd leveled up on my skills and shit. Yeah, I was near the end. I just never finished it. It got a bit repetitive for me though. I just do a lot of just doing the tournaments to get money and gear. That was basically me doing that over and over, which was fun to be fair. The combat's good once you actually get some skills or are no longer just some peasant. But it's nice. Umu's breathing hard after the Bekzat fight. That's a good point. That's a good point. Again, Merab's cardio is unrivaled, so you do make a good argument there. When Henry Cejudo's good gas tank gets tired in the 3-round fight against Merab, Umar, who has no 5-round experience, will also gas out. I mean, didn't Umar fight a 5-rounder against Sandhagen in his last fight? Am I crazy? Am I wrong there? Was that not a 5-round fight where he did not look like he was gassed out and he looked he set a very good pace throughout that entire fight. So I don't know if that's an argument. That's all good, Wolf, my man. Don't worry. You finally got my thoughts on here. And anyway, you'd rather hear it on here than in a YouTube comment anyway. So there you go. But yeah, go check out the game channel if you haven't, as we're talking about it. Please go give it a like. Go give it a subscribe. I'm going to link it here anyway. I'm sure most of you motherfuckers have already seen it, but I'm going to link it there anyway. I'm trying to do one video a week on there, just talking about random games and shit, whatever I feel like talking about, you know. But it's doing well. I'm enjoying it. We hit 100 subscribers, which might not seem significant when you look at this channel, but it really is. So, because it really is just me doing this, basically. talking to the camera for 10, 15 minutes about the games I love, man. So I appreciate all the support I get on there. Truly, it does mean a lot. Merab fights are 2 times action compared to the Corey fight. Are they? Merab O'Malley wasn't the most exciting thing I've ever watched in my life. So did I play Fable back in the day? I did. I did. I loved Fable 2 as a kid. I loved it. I loved Fable 2. And 3 was good, but 2 just holds us. I might talk about that actually. That's a good idea. I haven't got that one written down. I remember just saving up so much money to try and buy the fucking Fairfax Castle. I just never did it. And I never did it. Never could afford it. But I really liked it. I like the system, like buying your own house and shit and your own properties. And my guy got really fat because I just used to eat too much food. I didn't even because didn't really clock it. 3 was cool though. I played 3 with a friend and it was a good time. I never played 1, so I don't know, but 2 and 3 I really liked. Probably the only good thing Peter Molyneux has done in the games industry is make Fable 2 and 3. And even then 3 was kind of divisive at the time. Divisive, but I liked it. What have you put in the memes channel? Where is it? Am I stupid? Why can't I see it? Oh, there we go. Valid. That is valid. I will give that. DuckTales is a perfect way to describe John Jones, of all people. Yeah, but I'll probably would do a Fable video. That's a good shout, Good shout. Fable, I was sort of thinking of on the fly. I don't know if I'll do that tonight, if I'm going to record one tonight. I don't think I'll do a Fable video. I don't know. Let me look at my Steam. Like, what have I been playing? Helldivers I might do. And then I think what I like to do is I kind of just spring into wider conversations again about other stuff. Like when I draw comparisons. So if I did do a Helldivers 2 video, I'll talk about the first one as well. Because I actually played that on this bad boy back in the day. I used to play Helldivers 1 on my PS Vita way back a long time ago. And I always wanted them to make a second one, but they never did until now. But I would talk about that. And also just the idea of the co-op shooter and how it's developed. Left 4 Dead 2 is probably the closest comparison I can think of. Which is also, including the first one, great games in their own right. So that would be an interesting one to talk about. Maybe I'll do a video Balatro, Sekiro, maybe. Oh. Battle Royale genre. Maybe just broader concepts too, sometimes like I do on the MMA channel. I don't know, guys. There's a lot of stuff I can do. Merab O'Malley wasn't that because Merab fought on the back foot due to O'Malley's power. He's not going to respect Umar as much. I agree with that stylistically, but does that mean it's going to be more exciting? I don't know for sure. I think Merab's style innately isn't the most exciting. He's underrated overhated. I do agree. I do agree with that. Umar the opposite. I don't think Umar's overrated. I think Umar is clearly at the top level. If you can beat Corey Sandhagen like that, you can clearly are an elite level fighter. But yeah, Khabib's fights were so exciting, right? I mean, they were. I mean, I think Khabib's fights were exciting, personally. I think it's the highest skill of MMA we've seen in a long time. That Gaethje fight was great. Poirier fight was great. McGregor fight, even better than both of those two. Michael Johnson fight, fucking demolished that brother. I like Winter, yeah, a bit boring, but, no one's going to have a banger every fight. Santos is on fire, okay. Jesus Christ. Why do people who hate on Merab for being boring seem to love Umar? Because MMA fans have no brain cells, myself included. We all eat crayons for a living. You watch MMA, you enjoy munching on crayons. The rite of passage. Umar's definitely overrated. He's not overrated. I disagree. I don't think the odds should be that high. I guess in the odds maker's eyes he is, in my opinion. But that's fair. I agree. The odds are crazy. But in terms of the fans, I don't think Umar is overrated. He deserves to be where he is. Yeah, maybe. Listen, I say that the only reason he had to skip the queue quite a bit and didn't get a lot of fights is because no one wanted to fight the guy. It's just true. You can say what you want, but it's just true. Are they better than most in his fight? He went the distance at least. Yeah, he did. He had a couple of good moments there too. Reason being, people love Umar is because Umar actually has finishing ability. Yeah, remember that knockout a few fights ago? Oh, it was a while ago now, but he just put that guy's lights out like nothing. It was really weird finish. Like, he just sort of clipped him, and the guy was out cold. Don't forget, he's got good striking. He does. I think he's the most well-rounded Nurmagomedov or any fighter in that sort of Dagestan pocket. I think he's more well-rounded than any of them at the top level. Even more than Makhachev. I think he's a better striker than Makhachev in a lot of ways. Or maybe he's not a better striker. I don't think his tool set's as diverse, but he's more efficient with it, if that makes sense. He's just more he's less susceptible to damage. And he mixes in the grappling better, if you ask me personally. Because at bantamweight, it is a different ball game. So we'll see. Even in fans' eyes, in Tapology, Umar is 75% predicted to win. That is crazy. Well, we'll find out, won't we? That's the exciting part. Fingers crossed, of course, and touch wood as I say it. But we will forget to find out on Saturday. So we'll find out, will we not? No sweat, my man. Have a good one. See you later, brother. Umar had 4 pullouts and 4 fights. Poor Beck's out in the UFC. Getting ducked isn't the only reason he didn't have that many fights. Yeah, well, being a fighter is hard, mate. People get injured in camps all the time. That's my 2 cents. It's not easy to make the walk. Things happen. My knee is fucked up. I don't even compete, man. And I fucked my left knee. It hurts when I walk down fucking steps now. And I have to go and get that shit checked out. So, and I'm not even a fucking athlete. I'm not in the gym fucking 6-7 days a week doing this shit. Think about how many injuries these guys pick up. This is what happens. It's part of the game. I like Klein to almost beat Khabib. Okay, that's a stretch. Stop glazing top level Corey. He's not elite. I think he's an elite striker, personally. That's my 2 cents. Umar had 1 KO and people act like he's been KOing people left and right. I'm not saying that, but he has got power. I don't think that you can't deny that. Cat made outfit video dropping 10 million subscribers. I would never do that ever unless it was 10 million subscribers. Or if someone donated me $1,000, I would do it. Actually, $1,000 isn't even enough, you know. Ravers one pull out of 13 fights. Yeah, fair point. Did Will Oblique kick your knee in Thailand? Brother, he wasn't there at the same time as me. But that knee away? Nah, I ain't. I didn't realize it was on camera. But I have a bad habit of doing that. But yeah, that is kind of grim. You're right. We pulled out almost dying weight cutting. That's an L. Weight cut. Okay. This is just bait. I ain't even right. I don't know why I've been rising to it for this long. What's the point? Marab beats Umar. Arman beats Islam. Those are the picks I made on the pod, actually. I made those picks too. You got bets? Yeah, I just got a new dog as well, actually. So we're back with 2 dogs now. I'm wearing shorts. Yes, I am. Because they're comfy as shit. It's cold, but I do not care, mate. I do not care. Umar and Islam. I mean, listen, it's just probably the first time in a while where both the main and co-main have been so hard to call, man. So I'll repeat this. There's no conviction when I make those predictions because it's just difficult. It's difficult to call those fights because stylistically they are equal, in my opinion. Skill set wise, they are pretty fucking close to. So don't know, mate. You don't sound like that. What do you mean? Sound like what? It's tough, man. It's my predictions. Excited though, but that's what makes it good matchmaking is because they're so difficult to call. So we are here sitting there talking about it, going, I think he's going to win this, and you think he's going to win that. This is, there is this much debate because they are equally matched. I think that's the point. Marab has more carries on TKOs on average compared to Umar. Hasn't Marab only got 1 finish in the UFC? 1 KO finish against. Oh no, that wasn't even the UFC. That was on when Dana White signed him when he's spinning back fist Rafion Stotts, right? But that was his last fight before the UFC. Dana White saw that shit and signed him. I don't think he's got. Oh, he knocked out. He finished Marlon Moraes, yeah, when he nearly got finished himself. But that's his only knockout in the UFC. So I'm going to assume Umar has the same. Does he just have 1? No, he's got. Oh, to be fair, yeah. Fair point. He's only got 1 knockout in the UFC. He's got more finishes, but only 1 knockout. Fair point. Fair point. I will give you that. It's a good record, though, for Umar, is it not? Again, I know he's not fought the highest level of competition, except from Corey Sandhagen, but that's not his fault. I'll say that again. It was not his fault. So I don't think there's anything to get mad about. And they're not bad wins. None of his wins are bad at all. You know? He's obviously good. I mean, the guy's 18-0, and he's just beaten Corey Sandhagen. Like, he's obviously can hang at the elite level. We'll see. When was the last time we had 2 male title fights on the same card? Not that long ago. Literally like, oh shit. 312 wasn't, was it? I'm thinking. Shit. Now you say it. I mean, there is an obvious answer. It's probably not even long ago at all. What about 308? What was 308? I mean, I know the main event was Topuria Holloway. Who was in the co-main? Whitaker Shemaev, so no, that doesn't count. 307? No. No, 306. 305 was Dricus Adesanya, but the co-main wasn't a title fight. 304, but Thomas was interim champ, so are we counting that? I would count that, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to keep going. 302. Well, that was God, Strickland Costa was the co-main event. Do not even fucking remind me of that. 300, it wasn't. 299? That was Strickland. That was O'Malley Vera, but what was the co-main? Poirier Benoit. 298 was Topuria Volk, but the co-main wasn't a title fight. My God. 297 was Dricus Strickland. Again, women's bantamweight. Oh, there you go. Yeah. 296. Edwards, Covington, Pantoja, Royval. That is crazy. That's nuts, man. That was the last time. Rayfield, you're crazy, brother. Better wrestling in your opinion. Between who? Who are you talking about between Umar and Merab? I don't know. It's all about styles, isn't it? How they match up against one another, because I think they're both incredible in their own right. I couldn't really tell you. Umar hater or Merab fan, just being honest about the records and styles. I mean, they're similar. It's a close matchup. That's the point I was always making. I'm surprised on the odds, for sure. Umar hasn't got a finish against anyone of the level of Stotts and Marais. Sure, listen, guys, I think you're reading into it a bit too much. There's no point drawing comparisons so much here. They're both elite fighters. There's no doubt about that. Whoever wins on Saturday, I do not know, and I cannot say with confidence, but I just can only hope for a good fight. I think that's all we can hope for. I actually think stylistically it's going to be pretty boring. I think it's going to be a lot of standoffish, nothing happening. That's my prediction. I think the main event will go very differently. I think the main event is going to be an absolute war. I think it's going to be really good. War is in like really good, some nice grappling exchanges, but a lot of striking too. It's going to be a fun fight. Much more excited for that one than the co-main. Co-main doesn't really get me jumping out of my seat, to be honest. And I haven't stayed up for a UFC card in a while because the last one, again, I was in Thailand, so it was on in the middle of the day. So the last time I stayed up for one would have been 309. What the fuck was 309 anyway? Jesus Christ, I forget shit so quickly. What was 309? 307 was Pereira Khalil. 308 was Poirier versus Max. What was 309? Jones Stipe. Jesus Christ. I was, oh, fucking hell. I don't even remember. Yeah, I did raise that from my memory because I just knew that shit was going to happen the way it did. Fucking Stipe looking 50 instead of 42. My God. Think it could be profitable to bet on the underdogs in top 5 fights? No, never do that. Never put a 5-leg parlay on all the underdogs. It just will not hit. I'm sorry. Bet smart. Don't bet stupid. Like me, I bet stupid. Nah, I mean, it's your choice, bro. It's your money. You do what you want. But it's not a card I might put a couple of quid on a few of the fights. Merab, I like the odds on Merab. So if you were going to bet on an underdog, I'd pick Merab. I think they're good on. Yeah, go for it. But Merab then, yeah, if you're doing individual bets, Merab's a good shot. The rest, don't know. Darukian, I think the odds are too close and not worth a call. But trying to make fight as high pace as possible. That's a good shout, to be honest with you. Because we know Merab can hang there. El Clasico going on. I'd rather Madrid win. I don't like either of them. Barcelona are scum because I'm a Chelsea fan and they've got history, but great to hear some people pick Merab and Arman. Arman I'm less confident with than I am with Merab. I think there's definitely a good chance Makhachev is just slightly better in every aspect. That's a pretty fair prediction. They're both just good everywhere, but Makhachev is just that edge above in every aspect, the wrestling and the striking, which I think is a realistic possibility. But Arman, I just have a sort of gut feeling, which is why I'm going with it. But we'll see. Merab, I'm much more confident in him getting it done over Umar than I am with Arman Sarukin. But we'll see. Real's getting destroyed? Really? What's the score? Let's have a look. 4-1. Holy fuck. And it's halftime. Jeez. That is nuts, man. Damn, they scored 5 minutes in, then just got leathered. That is crazy work. Fair enough. How does 17-year-old manage to score against Madrid? I don't know. I'm hungry. I'm not. Arman wants it more. Islam looking past him, talking about welterweight, middleweight bullshit. I don't think so. Listen, that's all talk. Every fighter does this, then they put on a good performance. listen, and if anyone would do that, would be Islam. The guy doesn't leave any stone unturned in training. I have zero doubt about that. So the only reason we'd ever see a sort of lesser version of Makhachev is if he has a poor weight cut, not enough time to recover. That will be the answer to that. In terms of training, there is no way, in my opinion, that Makhachev will be cutting any corners. So that's not an argument. I'm also put out. I'm doing it for fun. Yeah, not a good look, is it? I don't like people saying that. Islam's gone Hollywood. Nah, he's just selling the fight. It's a smart thing to do. Like going on these streams and stuff. It's it's cool. I say it's cool. I'm not gonna watch it, but it's the smart way of getting people watching your fight and watching you. That's where most of the younger generation are now, watching these streamers and tapping into that market. He knows exactly what he's doing. Went on Mike Mass's podcast. He's doing the rounds. Some of it required, some of it not, but I think his management are doing the right thing personally. Guy's a big name, and he's showing why. So we'll see. But yeah, guys, I am gonna have to head off. I am pretty fucking tired. And the podcast should be out later tonight if it's not now, but I will let you guys know when it is. I'm going to record a Games Channel video later. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will tell you pretty soon. Stream again on Thursday, video next Friday as well. All of that jazz. It's going to be really good. Don't know what video it's going to be yet, but whatever it's going to be, it'll be sick. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, stay safe, stay hydrated. Have a good morning, night, afternoon, wherever you are at in the world. And I will see you, in a bit. Peace.